Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. The host of the Mindless Midnight Show would like to welcome you to their latest episode full of late-night humor as we explore just about anything with our very special guest. Without further ado, here are your hosts, Nick and Josh.
Warning, some of the contents of this podcast may be found offensive. This podcast is not for the weak, lack of experience, and common sense, including children, unless they have been given permission.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Mindless Midnight Show, and we are talking to a special guest today, Josh Zamarippa, who I went to high school with, a friend of mine. I've known him for a long time. He was a United States Marine drill instructor for 3 years. He was in the Marines for 10 years, so we're going to talk about some military shit, whatever we want to talk about. Y'all know how this show goes by now. Josh Zamarippa.
Oh, okay. You can never have enough Joshes.
I know, there's two now, so I got to remember that shit. Josh Zamarippa. And if I'm not mistaken, I think in high school, I always said your name like Zamarippa or something like that. I was always doing shit like that.
Something, man.
Yeah. How are you doing today, dude?
All right, man. Not too bad. Just sitting at home. And I was watching Big Mouth while I was waiting for you guys.
Yeah.
Such a good show.
It's fucking hilarious, man.
Nice.
Are you on? Did you just start watching it, or are you on season 1? Or
No. I'm watching the new season right now.
oh, there's a new season.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, but it's the episodes, and it's whatever happened after. It was like My Furry Valentine, and then there was some.
Yeah.
This season's really fucking hilarious, though.
Dude, that's
Nice.
the best show.
And my confession, which oh Jesus, this is already getting hard. Josh, co-host Josh, already I think knows. I've never seen it. I've never watched it. I know. Oh my God, you gotta watch it. I know. I gotta watch it. I will eventually.
There's a lot of things you gotta watch. You haven't watched yet. I don't know what your wife's making you watch, but you gotta start.
So we're watching. Actually, we watch a lot of brutal shit. Like we watch like Viking shows where they're like stabbing each other in the throat. Like we're into that. Like, and I mean, we watch a lot of the same shows. Like,
I mean,
Josh.
that's cool too, but you gotta laugh, man. You gotta get those comedy ones in.
I do laugh, damn it. You act like I don't laugh. Oh, there, I laughed. Anyways, so Josh Zamarippa. The first question I'm going to ask you is a pretty obvious one, but it came from a listener because before we did the show, we posted to listeners like, hey, is there anything you guys want to ask? And hold on, I'm about to sneeze. Nope, I'm not. What was the favorite part of your service?
My favorite part. My favorite part actually was getting to shoot. So in the military, I don't know. Well, I'm not going to say for the military, but for the Marine Corps, you have to qualify with your rifle every year, and it's called an annual qualification. And once you become a certain rank, you have to qualify with a pistol as well. So you go to the range and you get your annual qualification. Well, there's also this competition that comes up every year, and they're called division matches. And so you're basically competing against other Marines and to see who shoots the best, obviously. And I went to one competition in 2014. I didn't do so hot. I mean, it was my first qualifier, or it was my first shooting competition that I ever did. So I was like getting used to it. And I was still like learning because they teach you different methods and ways how to shoot more precise. So I was getting my reps in, so to speak. And I didn't do anything. I didn't qualify. I didn't place anywhere. It was just kind of like I popped my cherry in the fucking competition.
Yeah.
So 2015 comes around and I end up doing really well. Like I placed, I think I got second. Yeah, I got second place. It's on my Instagram. I'll send you a picture of it.
Man.
Out of like 500 and something competitors, I got second place in the rifle competition, and I ended up getting picked from those winners to go to North Carolina to go compete in another shooting competition. And from there, they select the ones who did well in that competition to go and shoot for the big team, which is the Marine Corps rifle team. Every branch has a shooting. Every branch has a rifle team, pistol team, and a 3-gun team. A 3-gun is rifle, shotgun, and pistol, right? And you move and you do different.
Oh, shit. That's cool.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really great. So I ended up getting picked up to go shoot for the Marine Corps rifle team. And I went and I traveled. I was in Quantico for like 5.5 or 6 months. I was in Virginia. That's where the base.
Damn.
Yeah, and I was going up and down the East Coast competing. And our final competition was in Camp Perry, Ohio. And that was really good. I got to shoot the M1 Grand Classic match, and I did really well. And with that gun, I got gold on that event. And then they asked a bunch of us, like, hey, we have this thing coming up. Who wants to go to it? And it was going to be a competition between the British Royal Marines, the Dutch Marines, and the French Marines, and obviously the U.S. Marines. And what's it called? They were like, who wants to go? And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll go.
Hell yeah.
Get a free ticket to England on the government's dime. Sign me up.
Yeah. On our dime, Josh. No, I'm kidding. It's totally cool.
So I ended up going over there, and I stayed in the UK for about a month and competing, and it was great, man. It was like it was amazing, man. I got to shoot guns. I got to mingle with the fucking Dutch, who can fucking drink. Let me tell you.
I bet.
The British are fucking wild. They're absolutely mad. Like they were talking about some shit. Like I was just like, man, you guys are fucking insane. Like shit that we would get in trouble for, they would do like in Afghanistan and shit like that. It was fucking wild, dude.
Wow.
But it was a good time, and I met a lot of good people, and I forgot the name of it. I think it's called like RMOSC or something. It's like Royal Marines Operational Shooting Competition, I think is what it was called. But it was really great, man. And then I came back to the States, and it was kind of like it was like coming down from a high. It kind of sucked because, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I was, doing my thing, and I was shooting for 6 months. Like, no shit. Like, we didn't really have a break because it was, I mean, obviously we were in the big leagues. We were shooting competitively. That was our job.
Yeah.
So every day I loved it. I was able to shoot really well. I would say that was probably my best time in the Marine Corps was 2015 year.
Shit, man. Yeah, that's kick ass. I'm glad you had such a good answer too. Like, that's cool. So
what kind of like trophies did you get? Did you get like a silver plated like AR?
No, I wish. No, but we did get opportunities to buy weapons from what was it, the CMP? It was like the Creed, I think it's Creedmoor, like marksmanship program. I don't know. I just remember it as CMPs. It's been years, but I have a bunch of friends that have like double-digit or single-digit serialized World War II weapons that are very hard.
Wow, man.
That's
amazing.
Yeah, they had Springfields. I know one of our officers, he had an Era issued Car 98. It was amazing, dude. Like, still with the original like wood finish and staining on it. It was amazing. Gun was amazing.
That's crazy.
And it just gives
dude.
For those guys that went to go serve over there, because those bullets, man, let me fucking tell you, if you've never had a 30-06 go over your head whenever you're pulling down targets, let me tell you, it's gonna make you put your head down. So those guys were playing around with some big boy bullets back in the day, man. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, and I mean, this is gonna sound so fucking dorky. When I play in my video games, bro, and like straight up, like, but I mean, because I play like a lot of like the World War I games, and like Verdun, it's like a realistic World War I as far as the guns and shit. And those fucking bullets are huge, man. And those bolt action rifles.
I love them, man.
He holds up this, and there's like a 50 cal that's like this.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. But yeah. So and then like whoever wins these competitions, like, you win one and then another guy wins a different one. Do you guys do like the 10 pace duel to the death with pistols?
No, it's not. I feel like a lot nowadays would definitely be solved by that. I feel like I would come out on a winner. at least
you do well. You do well, man. Fucking Wild Wild West shit. Oh man,
That's really
cool.
cool.
Awesome. So I'm assuming that there's a lot of parts about being in the Marines that you miss. Obviously that's definitely one of them. Do you go to the range often in civilian life?
Not as often as I would like. Mostly because of, I guess, this whole Corona shit. Messing with everybody.
Yep.
But not only that, it's just I haven't really had time to go, which it kind of sucks because that's like one of my best things. That's like one of the things that I do to take the edge off. Is like, fuck. Like a lot of people will go smoke a cigarette or drink a fifth. Me, it's going to get some trigger time and get some range time in. So, but it's expensive.
Yeah.
I think that stops me is it's a very expensive hobby.
Yeah, shit.
Definitely nowadays it's become a lot more expensive. Like most of the stores around here, I'm in Florida, have been practically sold out of like the more common ammo, like the 9mm, the 12 gauges, the 223s, 5.56. It's gone. And if they have them, they're like double the price.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of, I've had to stay away from the ranges because it's just too expensive, and I'm not guaranteed finding ammo at the moment.
Yeah. So what ends up helping me is every time I do go, I kind of have this rule. It's like my own little personal rule. Every time I go to the range, I try to grab at least one box of ammo for my personal. Either it's going to be either one box of ammo each for my shotgun or my handgun, or one box for whatever I can get for my shotgun or handgun. So every time I go, just pick up a box, take it home with me after I'm done shooting, and then next time do the same thing again.
I always felt like the range prices for ammo were a little more expensive. I like going to Academy Sports.
Yeah, you could also go there. It just depends on where you go. Like, I would say it's probably. I think it just varies though.
Yeah.
Range pay a little bit more because they do have to resupply everybody, and you buy ammo as part of the range fee. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love Academy Sports.
Well, I mean, Academy's cool because they've got a new. I guess they get like new crates of like frag grenades that you can buy.
I wish, man.
Go to the range with a frag grenade, like, yeah, I just want to chuck this real quick, man, like out there. Let's just do it. I love grenades, man. I've only got to throw one, and I've got to handle a couple, but man, let me tell you, it's really fucking cool seeing a grenade go off. Yeah, dude. Well, they still just blow shrapnel out, right? Like that's
yeah.
So
it's got if I remember correctly, it's got a kill radius of 5 meters, a wound radius of 15, and yeah, I think that's pretty much. And like a seriously wounding radius of like 10 meters or something like that.
Shit. So I heard. And this is a long time ago. Like, I was in middle school when I heard this, mind you. So I'm sure design has changed a lot on grenades. I heard somebody say, it's somebody that I thought knew what they were fucking talking about, that if somebody throws a grenade and it lands next to you, that you have a better chance of surviving if you stand directly next to it and turn away, and you'll probably lose your legs, or if you're standing, you're shaking your head, or if you stand like at a certain distance, it'll kill you. Like the chances of death are.
You know what? For anybody that's willing to believe that information, we'll let them believe that because they're better off.
Anybody's willing to try that technique on a grenade that's about to go off, just let them win their Darwin Award. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I'll try it.
Like, fuck no. What?
Yeah. Okay. Well, shit. It's a good thing you're here because I mean, who knows at this point?
Funny.
I'm just an idiot. I don't know. That's something I heard. I didn't make that up.
Yeah. So grenades explode. They explode up and out. So
okay. Yeah.
if you're close to a grenade, obviously if it's right next to you, you're gonna get hurt. Like period.
Yeah.
But the odds of your survival will increase like a marginally tiny bit. So the way we were taught is if you lay down on the ground with your feet towards the grenade of where it's going to go. So that way, if anything, when it does go off, if anything gets damaged the most, it's going to be your feet. There's more meat for the shrapnel to travel through your body, and it's not going to hit, hopefully, anything vital.
Yeah. Fuck. Okay. Well, that makes more sense than just being like, grenade, stand next to it. Woohoo! I'm good, man. Like,
get a medal and save your buddies and die at the same time. You can just jump on it.
That's true. Get that medal. Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be down for that.
You're too selfish.
I am, man. I'd haul ass.
Yeah.
I'm too scared to be like. It wouldn't even be selfish. I'd just be too scared to even be heroic. I'd just be a little bitch. Like, bye.
You know what would be like straight up bullshit ironic is if a grenade lands in between two, or like a platoon, right? Which is fucked up. But two guys think at the same time, like, I'm going to save my platoon. And they both dive for it and crack heads and fall. And then the grenade goes off uncovered and fucks everybody up. That
I would say, though, if it did land close enough to me to where like I could just quickly grab it and throw it back, I would definitely try and at least do that.
Yeah.
Because I could definitely throw it a lot further faster than I could run.
I would say life scenario, your best chance of surviving a grenade attack is just put something in between you and that blast, or
like your friend. Then you lose a medal. They're like, okay, you lose whatever medal you might get.
Well, because a grenade isn't like Call of Duty, you know what I mean? There's two safeties. Like once that spoon goes flying, the fuse is lit, and you have about 4 or 5 seconds. So if you pick it up after it gets thrown, you got to think it's already been traveled through the air.
Oh, shit.
You're going to throw it. It's going to go off in your hand more than likely, or not. Like it's an air burst at that point. And so just get the fuck out of there.
Okay. Yeah. That would suck ass. It is funny how like TV shows and games, they make it like a big fiery. I feel like the newer ones don't do it as much. But definitely the old ones do.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can't really say for any of that, to be honest. I've only seen a frag grenade go off once, and then I fired a Mark 19, which is a grenade launcher, like you sit behind it and you push down on the trigger and it goes thump, 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 and it shoots grenade.
Yeah.
You know, I fired live HEDP rounds, but it doesn't make like that big fireball explosion. It's just like black puff.
Yeah. Now, did you say anything cool before you did it?
Whenever
Hi, motherfucker!
Yeah.
Or whenever I'm shooting the Mark 19, what is it?
Yeah.
Not really. We just.
I know, probably not. It's like, dude's an idiot.
What was it? Like in 10, 15-second bursts, and our little thing that we would say is die, motherfucker, die, and then you release. So you press die, release, die, motherfucker, die, release, because you don't want to overheat the barrel. That's a lot of.
That's kick-ass. All right, so backtracking quite a bit. I want to backtrack real quick because your last name is fucking badass, and I wanted to know where it originated. Where does it originate?
My dad is Mexican, so he was born in Jalisco, Mexico, and he immigrated to the United States. He got his citizenship. My mother was born in Texas, and I was born in El Paso, Texas. And so Zamarippa is his name. It's Mexican.
It's fucking rare. I mean, for me, it is. I mean, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. Heard it. I hadn't either. Yeah, that's kick ass.
I think any letter after V is pretty cool.
So then moving forward a bit, you and I went to the same high school. Did you also go to PMS? And that, my friends, is the acronym. That PMS is the
prehistoric
acronym.
monster syndrome.
No, yeah, it's the acronym for the middle school that I went to, which was Pflugerville Middle School. Did you go to that middle school as well?
I did.
Okay.
Go to.
You did go to PMS. Okay, because I think that must have been where we met then.
Yep. With
Which
all the
makes
little
sense.
shit.
Skaters. We were the skater kids, man. Fuck yeah. We were cool as shit.
We were cool, getting in trouble with everybody, smelling like piss and shit all day.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Unreal
So we're all a bunch
boys.
of rejects.
Yeah.
I have a memory of PMS, and I don't remember if it was you or not, Nick.
Uh-oh.
But it was either you or somebody else. Who the fuck managed to do a wall ride on that gym wall? Do you remember that?
I think I remember a lot of us fucking around in the gym skating when we weren't supposed to.
Yeah.
But if I had to put money on it, it was Greek Spore.
Yeah, it was probably Matt.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to get him on the show one day too.
Or Austin. You remember Lot?
Austin Lott. Yeah. You know, I heard something about him. Austin, I know you're not listening because you probably don't know about the show's existence, and that's fine. But if you are ever listening, I will say one thing that you told me that blew my fucking mind was that he had a metal plate in his head.
I remember that.
You remember that? Yes. And he would straight up be like, I have no feeling in this giant rectangular region in my head. And we're like, what? He's like, yeah, literally, I don't. Yank my hair as fucking hard as you can, and I won't feel it. And we're sitting there fucking like yanking on this dude's head. And he's just like, fuck, yeah, nothing, dude, nothing. And I don't know if I dreamed this or something, but I thought I remember somebody, I don't know who, but somebody grabbing him and literally lifting him off of the ground by his head, his hair.
I remember that.
Okay, yeah. So that happened.
It was in the cafeteria, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so
I'm more impressed with the fact that his hair follicles stayed into his scalp.
well, he had like a decent amount of like bushy curly hair, and you could fucking grip that shit, and it's pretty strong. And I mean, I think they had like two full hands of that, and just I remember it, man. And he's just like nothing, and we were like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Middle school was fucking crazy.
Yeah, it was. And I feel like it kind of sucks. I really don't remember a lot about it. But like I feel like I don't. But then I remember having to shit so bad in one of the classes. And I remember telling the teacher, like, I gotta go to the bathroom. She's like, no, the bell's gonna ring in 15 minutes. And I'm like, I really gotta go. And she was like, no, you can't go. You can't go. And I said, okay, well, I gotta fucking go or I'm gonna shit myself. And I remember just leaving and going to take a shit. And she was like, stop it. And I'm like, I gotta go. Like, you don't get it.
Yeah.
I think that was like 7th grade. And I don't want to shit myself in 7th grade. If you shit yourself in 7th grade in the classroom,
you live with that for the rest of your life.
You're fucking done. You're done. Like
people on a podcast and then they talk about how the time they saw this kid shit himself in class.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude.
Exactly.
I don't want to be the point of that story. They'd be like, remember, guys, don't shit in the. No, I'm not doing that. That's not. I'm going to be remembered as the guy that just defied the teacher and left, so I wouldn't be that guy.
Yeah, you're just the guy with the dent in his head.
Yeah, oh man. Josh, I don't know if you heard that. We did an episode. I think it was our 4th episode. It was a couple months back. And I told the story of how I have a giant dent in the back of my head right there from skateboarding. Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't doing video then. Come on, turn around. Let's see that noggin.
You can't see it, dude. I mean, you can't see it. I don't think you can. I mean, it's right here.
I mean, it looks like a giant bump on your head. Maybe it's just indented.
No, I mean, I'll whenever we meet up, like you.
Oh, I'm gonna touch you all over.
All over.
Definitely.
Okay.
Do what?
Yeah.
I said I'm definitely touching and rubbing his head.
Do it. I will grant you one wish.
What's up?
I was given that power once I hit my head. Like a genie came up to me after I hit my head that hard, and the genie was like, "If somebody rubs your head, you give them a wish." And I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" So I can grant one wish, not three. I'm not that cool, but I can do one. So.
All right, I'm gonna hold you to it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, but basically, like I won't get into the whole story because our loyal listeners have already heard it. But basically, like where the corner is where the back of my head went, bam, popped it when I was doing tricks off a ledge. So yeah, and you know we never wore helmets, man. It never happened ever. If you wore a helmet, everybody would call you out and be like, "You're a fucking dork."
Yeah, fucking nerd.
But now I'm like, man, I really should have worn a fucking helmet. That's like so bad.
I must say though, I definitely I always enjoyed skating, regardless of any of the risks, and pretty sure you guys did too, right?
Dude, hell yeah! I mean, I still do it.
Did we ever think about the risks though?
No. But I also feel like maybe subconsciously I did, because there were so many tricks I could fucking land really well. But then when I was doing it off of a ledge or something, it's like my brain was like, "Don't do it." Like if I wore a helmet, I feel like I would have had a little bit more confidence to commit. I really think that now. I really do.
So you remember, I think we were either still in no, you were definitely still in middle school. Going back to Greek Sport, fucking the stairs at PHS, which was Pflugerville High School. You remember what fucking ollied over the whole entire stairs?
Yeah.
The whole entire stairs, and we were just like, what the fuck? That man was insane.
That was crazy.
He should have worn a fucking helmet.
No shit.
How many steps were these stairs?
Oh my! It was like 3 sets, dude. Like 3 sets. It was like set, landing, set, landing, set.
Wow.
I don't remember how many stairs it was. I think maybe like
I would say
12?
I think it was more than 12, bro.
You think so?
I think that the last landing was fucking 12, and then it was like 4 and 4.
Wow. Man, I have a minute.
Yeah. I mean, he was hauling ass when he did that. Hauling ass. He had a really long runway, and he was hauling ass and just boom. And I mean, he attempted it like quite a few times. And
those are some big fucking balls then, because man, 6 steps were good enough for me. That was it.
Yeah, no shit. I was never that crazy, to be honest. I was better at doing like really impressive flat ground tricks, like triple kickflip on flat ground and like laser flip on flat ground and like 360 hard flip on flat ground.
Yeah,
I did stuff like that, which was like, holy shit, did he just fucking do that? So I did
Rodney Mullen stuff.
Yeah, and I did some Rodney Mullen shit. I remember one thing I did down the stairs. I didn't talk about this when we talked about skating, but I called it the slinky, where you know how you go on the side of the board, like primo, they call it primo, and then like you can flip to the other side, you know, like Rodney Mullen does. I would do that downstairs, and I called it the slinky. Yeah, you remember me doing that, right?
I think I remember you doing that.
I did it a lot at those stairs that Matt cleared. I would slinky down those.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Fuck that.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool because we went to you obviously, Josh, you know Oliver. Me and Oliver went, and I've mentioned Oliver a few times on this show. I'm gonna have to bring him in here so we can confirm some of his stupid bullshit that he's done.
Over at Oliver's place like last month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I talk to him all the time, and you know, I'm a plumber, and he is a plumber, and I see him at the supply house in the mornings when we're like loading up shit, and I'm like, hey, what's up? And we bullshit for like 20 minutes or whatever. But I got to get him on the show eventually, but I don't know. He never really has time. That's fine, you know.
Yeah.
What made me feel like, not gonna lie, dude, I felt kind of badass because there was a kid. I mean, by kid, I mean he was a lot older than us when we were younger. Like when we were in middle school, he was like a senior. Josh Johnson, does that name ring a bell to you? He was like a mega good skateboarder, dude. Like he was he was skating with pros at a what are those called? I don't remember what they're called, but basically, Zero, Team Zero, and Mystery.
Are you talking about my third leg?
No, your third leg is actually like a Vienna sausage, bro.
I mean, you just said Josh Johnson. I don't know.
Josh. There's a lot of Joshes today, guys. This is like the world of Joshes. So no, me and Oliver went to this. I don't remember. It was a skate park, and it was like an expo with Zero and Mystery. The professional skateboarding teams were there, and amateurs were allowed to skate with the pros. Obviously, none of us qualified at all, but Josh Johnson was considered an amateur, so he was skateboarding with the pros and shit, and like doing fucking. It was so many people there packed. Well, I really wanted to skate, so I went outside after the expo was over, and I was doing the slinky down the stairs going into the skate park, and Josh Johnson just like, he's gonna be pro, like. He was like, holy shit, dude. Yeah, I wouldn't do that, man. And I'm like, I mean, I am doing it. And he's like watching me do it. And he's like, fuck that. And he left. And I'm like, all right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, look at that shit. Yeah. So he either thought I was really stupid or thought that's probably really stupid. But I thought he was fun.
I promise you. Like later on in life, he tried it.
Probably. Maybe he busted his ass. And then I'm like, yeah, because I did it successfully.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun as fuck. Yeah, that was a good time. That was a good time. So we did a lot of shenanigans in middle school. I was kind of a goody two shoes though. I'm not gonna lie. I acted like I was like, I'm with you guys, and then y'all go do your shit. I'm like, gotta go. Never mind. I can't.
Go to class.
Yeah. But. And then high school, we skated and we did our thing. And then I guess kind of getting back into, we're not going to talk about the military the entire time you're here because we're already having fun talking about everything. This is what we do. But what got you into it? Like, what made you think, like, I'm fucking going to join the Marines?
So, growing up, I always had like an affinity like for firearms, war movies, like shit like that. So growing up, I pretty much already knew that I was going to go to the armed. I didn't know what branch specifically up until I want to say like my junior or senior year in high school. I didn't know what branch I was going to go into. And then I remember it was like a toss up between the Army or the Marine Corps. And I remember having a bunch of my friends, like one or two of my friends, and then like my grandfather, he was a Marine during Vietnam. And, I would ask around. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, I want to go to the Army, but at the same time, I want to be a Marine too. Like, I just didn't know what to do. And one thing a friend of mine said to me, I remember his name. You probably remember him, Adrian Enriquez.
Yep. I just talked to him a few weeks ago. How cool.
Yeah. Yes. For him, he pretty much said to me, he was like, if you're going to join a branch, why don't you join the hardest one? And I was like, okay, Marine Corps it is.
Okay.
I was like, man, fuck it. And because it's kind of stayed with me. Junior year came around. We graduated in July of 2009 or June, right?
I have no idea. I didn't go.
Yeah, it was June. Did you go to?
No, I didn't fucking go, man. I said, no, I'm done. No, I'm fucking done. Not going. Yeah. My family was pissed. I was like, I don't fucking care. I didn't go to prom. Nope, I'm done. No.
There was no reason to go to prom.
No.
I wasn't prom. Honestly, I really was not going to go to prom until like the day of. My mom actually bought me a ticket and she's like, you're going to prom. I was like, all right, fuck.
Nice, dude. Yeah. I love that.
But yeah, going back to it, like what made like what branch, like, I didn't know. I did a couple, so I reached out. I think this is also what helped me too, is that I reached out to a couple Army recruiters and they never called me back. Like I would call them.
Oh, wow.
They'd be like, okay, whatever. We'll sit down and we'll talk to you. I'm like, all right, cool. They never called me back. I called the Marine Corps and they're like, oh yeah. And then that same day I was sitting down with somebody and I was like,
That's because they really pride themselves on getting people in there and getting a big, like that's fucking awesome. Well, we are going to take a very quick break, and then we're going to jump right back into the shit because we're not done with Josh yet. Well, I mean, we're done with Josh, the co-host, because he sucks. But we're going to stick around with Josh Zamarippa. No, I love you, Josh. I'm just playing. We'll be right back, guys.
Who said to stand like that? You must love getting special attention. Huh?
No, Chief.
Get that attention! Now! I'm pretty sure that I said your hands will never be behind you. Your hands will never be in front of you. What is your problem?
Okay, welcome back. Josh is still with us, both Joshes, and we sorry, we left and we were talking briefly about prom, and I actually have a question. So, Josh Zamarippa, you went to prom. Co-host Josh, you did not go to prom, correct?
No.
Okay, so neither of us went to prom. Zamarippa, you did go to prom. So, how was your prom experience?
Honestly, it was very lackluster. I'll be honest. It was I should have just fucking stayed home because I was there. We went out. So my girlfriend at the time was Brianna Aiken. I don't know if you remember her, but She was Brianna Aiken. She was a track star, pole vaulter. Really cool. I got a lot of weird looks because Central Texas, right? Nobody's really fucking used to a Mexican kid going out with a black girl, or vice versa. You know what I mean? Like we were an interracial couple. I think we were the only interracial couple in fucking high school.
In Texas? No, I'm just
yeah, fuck, I wouldn't doubt it. But yeah, so I went with my girlfriend at the time, and we went from I think we started at Cheesecake Factory, and then we ended up at IHOP. It was all right, man. It was okay. We went to the prom. It was at some fucking hotel in downtown Austin. I don't remember the name of the hotel, but I remember Alex Okafor. He ended up showing up, and this is whenever he was already going to be going to UT on a scholarship to play for the team. So obviously his ass showed up with a white and burnt orange tuxedo. It was actually pretty cool, but obviously he wore them because he was going to UT. That was pretty much it. Everybody, I walked around, people were dancing, and then after that, we went to IHOP, and then I don't remember the rest, to be honest, but yeah, it was pretty wild. Not wild, but it was
So it was like, it's not what people would think. So I'm assuming by the state of your story and where it seems to be trailing off, you did not get laid.
I did not get laid. I did not. I wish I would be super cool and be like a piece of shit and I fucking totally didn't. No, I didn't. I went home.
That's okay. I feel like that's more common. I feel like that's more common now. I mean, come on. That's like high school shit, or not high school shit. That's like movie shit where it's prom night, you're going to get laid. When in reality, you fucking go to IHOP and go home, whatever. It's like...
Yeah, you get fucking turned up at Cheesecake Factory. You go to prom. Shit starts going downhill from there. And then you just end up at IHOP randomly. It's like your drunk nights in your early 20s. You just randomly end up at IHOP or fucking Waffle House or whatever fucking hole in the wall place that you want to go to. What's that place everybody ends up drunk at anyways?
Whataburger,
yeah. Texas
dude.
Burger. Everybody goes for the fucking the breakfast on a bun and all that shit. Pretty much.
I don't think there's a Whataburger around here. I've never been to one.
No.
But you know about with the Waffle House though, right?
Oh, dude, Waffle House. My main thing though, because after we would leave the bars and stuff, there was a Del Taco right nearby.
Oh my God!
We just had to go across the street, and dude, Del Taco is amazing. It was better than Taco Bell. It had burgers if you wanted burgers. It had churros, and it had these little caramel cheesecake bites that were so good.
It's all rat meat.
Dude, I don't give a shit what it is. It was fucking good. It could be like pure dick meat. I mean, it was good. Who knows? Maybe it was. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Fuck it. That's awesome. So whenever you joined the Marines, how was boot camp, in your opinion?
Man, let me tell you, boot camp was fucking wild. Boot camp was fucking wild, man. It's a far cry from how it is nowadays. Like a bunch, you're gonna hear that all the time. Like, oh, back in my day, it wasn't as hard or it wasn't as easy. Or blah 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 blah. No shit, dude. Like, it got pretty rough in 2009. You know, I went in. So I remember saying we graduated in June of 2009, and then literally July of 2009, I was in San Diego going to boot camp, and it was just surreal. Like, I thought I had a handle on it. My first week I was there, little did my dumbass know was that was not our drill instructors. Those were just the drill instructors that receive you and give you all your new shit. And then Friday comes around. So Friday is pickup day for the drill instructors, also known as, fittingly, Black Friday. So you get your drill instructors on that Friday, Black Friday, and it's just absolute chaos. Fucking absolute chaos. I was like, what the fuck? For a moment, I was like, did I do the right thing? And then after quickly gone away. Yeah, it was quickly gone away by the fact that I knew I wanted to be there. So I was like, fuck it, I got to do this. And yeah, man, it was. And we have the longest boot camp of all the military branches. We stay there for 3 months, and we train, learn. Like, yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. And it's pretty wild, man. Having a dude fucking screaming in your face for those 3 months is fucking wild, man.
Wow. Yeah, it's funny because my dad was talking to me about. It's funny because I had mentioned to him, he's like, "What are you doing tonight?" And I told him I'm doing a show, and he's like, "Who are you interviewing?" And I told him that, I'm a friend of mine who's a Marine for 10 years. He was a drill instructor, and so he asked me to be like, has he ever? And he mentioned this old show, the Andy Griffith show. I guess there's characters in there, and one of them is a drill instructor, and he's like screaming at one of the characters. And the character is just like smiling and shit while he's getting screamed at. And so, I guess, what would happen if somebody pulled that shit?
They were either something very wrong with them or fucking very stupid, because none of us were brave enough to smile at our fucking drill instructor. None of us. We were like, these motherfuckers are gonna kill us. They're gonna fucking beat our ass. Like, you don't, like, I don't even know. Like, it was wild, man. And what's it called? Yeah, like if they definitely pulled some shit like that, someone would have lost their minds. Like, now speaking from experience, I've never had that happen to me where someone was just smiling and like, whatever. Like, I knew, like, if they did that to me, one, I wasn't doing my job. And two, if he did that shit, I was going to fucking murder him. Not literally, but figuratively, you know what I mean?
I would have such a hard time because like that shit like cracks me up. Like if somebody wanted to yell in my face, I would laugh. But maybe, I don't know, because like when people do yell in my face, I laugh. But in that setting, I'd probably shit myself. It may be different. Yeah. Because I've seen Full Metal Jacket. Yeah. Fucking. No, I've seen Full Metal Jacket, and dude, I fucking love that movie.
Me too.
So, it's kind of like that, but at the same time, I feel like that scene was more geared towards of like getting like a lighthearted reaction. Like, you knew he was serious, you knew where he was, but he was a lot of shit that would make you laugh. But versus like us, like I'm not gonna lie, I would say a bunch of shit that was pretty funny, but I would never laugh. So like, it was like a weird mixture of emotions. You know what I mean? Like I would say some fucking hilarious shit, but I would be like stone cold. So the recruits are like, do I fucking...
So like, give us an example here, you know?
Shit. Okay, here's a good one. This one, hopefully, okay, all right. So I had a recruit. I don't remember his fucking name. But if I did, I would probably just redact it for privacy reasons.
Yeah.
And if for some reason he comes across this podcast in the near future, he's gonna fucking probably email you guys and be like, yo, that was me.
We'll deny it.
There was one, I was teaching drill. And the only thing I told my recruits that I really cared about was your speed, your volume, and intensity. And if you had those, I would leave you the fuck alone. Obviously, if you're a drill instructor, your recruits never have any one of those three. So you're always fucking them up. So, what's it called? This recruit, he would not fucking scream, or he wasn't screaming to the volume that I wanted. And he didn't have a chin. He didn't have like a you know what I mean? He had like those like flat fucking, like it was just neck and then upper teeth. You know what I mean? Like just straight fucking neck. So I remember I told him, if you don't scream, I'm going to step on your throat until you develop a chin, and then I'm gonna open your mouth, and then I'm gonna try to put some volume into your body. And obviously, fucking, he was scared.
And you're yelling this at this guy, right?
Yeah, I'm yelling him at him. I was like, open your fucking mouth. I'm gonna step on your throat until you develop a chin. So I thought that was gonna be the end of it, right? I was fucking wrong. All right. So on Thursdays, we have what's called a family day. And that's where everybody comes in to come see the recruits. This is like on the week of graduation. So like I said, Black Friday's on a Friday, but also there's graduations on Friday. But the day before graduation is family day. The families get to meet you as the drill instructors. They meet their kid. They cry. It's really stupid, right? So... what's it called? On family day, I'm standing at this kiosk because some friends of mine are there, and I'm talking, shooting the shit basically, because our job is to go out there and walk around, and if your recruits see you, they come up and talk to you, take pictures of their family, and then you get hit on by their sisters, their mothers, and their girlfriends. Very awkward, very funny though, right?
Oh yeah.
So standing there. And this fucking kid comes up with his mom and his family, right? And let me tell you one fucking thing, bro. This fucking kid was a spitting image of his mother. All right? Like, fucking, she had no chin and he had no chin. But his dad was good. Like, he was solid, but he was a little fat. So, we're sitting there and he's like, oh, this is my drill instructor, Sergeant Zamarippa, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's great to meet you all. And I just could not bring myself to tell her that I saw where her son gets his looks from. Obviously, there would be some shit there, right? And he starts telling the story of the time I told him that I was going to step on his throat until he developed a chin. And I stood there all fucking awkward. I was like, that's fucking like, know it. It's good to meet y'all. I'm out. And I fucking bounced. I was like, oh my God. And my boys came up after, like, I had my friend hit me up and she was like, did I just hear that right? I was like, yeah. I was like, I am so lucky. I really hope nothing fucking happens because we can get into trouble for shit like that. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I just threatened to step on this kid's fucking throat. You know what I mean? Like, it can be very highly misconstrued. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it was pretty crazy, man. Like, I remember I would tell my kids to scream, or I would shove my arm down their throat and pull their volume up from their like.
So I have to ask: are you when you become like a drill instructor? Are you trained to have that type of intensity towards people, like to give them that kind of bullshit, or is it just something that just naturally comes to us?
So naturally, I'm just a naturally fucked up guy. I say a lot of like shit that
For sure.
I can't wait to hang out.
yeah, like, so like I've always been that way. I've always said like some funny shit. But I was always very shy growing up. Like I was always like on it. Like I was always on like spot with like a lot of shit that I wanted to say. I would just never say it because I was shy. But definitely being as a drill instructor in my time in the military definitely taught me to, you know, break my shell and come out a little bit more. And whenever I was there, yeah, exactly. With shit, whenever I was there, it was out. Like I was fucking out. And I was just saying off the wall shit. I would say shit that would come to my mind. Like, but as a drill instructor, you're trained to have that intensity. Like you're always wanting to scream. You're always wanting to run, like the right, like this, that, and the other. So it's definitely like a culture thing. You know what I mean? And I also have, so I would scream so much that my voice, I don't know if you can tell over audio, but my voice has a permanent rasp to it that I've never. And that's because I would scream for 3 years fucking straight, basically for 3 months on end. You know what I mean? And there are certain octaves that I can't hit because of my throat. You know, my first week, as I was fresh, like still in drill instructor school, we go and observe. But that week after it was done, I was coughing up like these chunks of like green. It looked like this, basically. It looked like a little. And it was hard, but inside of it was blood. And I remember I was like, fuck, I tore my vocal cords essentially.
Wow.
And I was like, this is going to sound really gross, but I just could not believe what I was seeing. I had to pick it up. I picked it up after I spit it out of the sink. And I was like, what the fuck? I was just like looking at it. And you know how sometimes you see something that is either really good and you're like, or like you're trying a craft beer for the first time. You're like, oh, fuck, what is in this?
Yeah.
Same thing. I was like, what the fuck is this? It was the size of a quarter. And I was like touching it and like squeezing it. It was hard. It was dried blood. In my throat, that time my throat was on fire. Like I was swallowing blood. I could taste it. Yeah, it was a good time, man.
They need to teach drill instructors how to vocal fry scream. I mean, they really do. Like what metal screamers do. Like it's not hard. I can do it.
But is that really the same? Are you really using like the same, like your vocal cords the same way you would be just normally yelling?
No. So with vocal fry screaming, I'm not going to like really get into it, but you know how like you've all seen that movie like The Grudge, that that sound. So basically, you convert that sound into your like I can't do it. My kids are sleeping, but you basically like and you can do this scream, and it doesn't fuck your throat up at all.
I don't know, man, because like when I go to concerts and scream, like the next day
That's because you're not doing a proper scream. There's proper ways to scream that don't use your vocal cords. It uses your diaphragm and your larynx, and it creates a vibration, and it doesn't use your vocal cords at all. They need to be teaching that because, dude, that's fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, that just sounds awful.
Yeah, so they do teach us, but it's not in depth. So they tell you to yell stomach, use your diaphragm. The right way to yell or to scream basically is to, like, if you're yawning, you know how you open your throat, like if you're yawning and you can like beer or like, I don't know, suck a dick. Open it up. Yeah. He's like, yeah, really. But what's it called? Yeah, you open your throat like if you're yawning and you yell and you get really loud. Like you can get really loud. But in the moment, like whenever you're like running and you're no shit running and screaming, like I don't know how else to get more in depth, or how to break it down as that. But you're literally running and screaming from before the sun rises until after the sun sets.
You guys need that Beyonce training.
Maybe. Yeah, man, it's definitely wild. Like you don't have time to do that. But yes, Nick is right. Like there is a way to yell and be loud and not fuck your shit up.
But I get it. At the same time, when you're doing it all fucking day, you're not going to be able to do the technique all day long, because especially if they don't teach it in depth, it has to become second nature to do it. Otherwise, you're going to revert to what's default, and that's just like screaming, you know?
Yeah.
So I get it, but man, it sucks because, like, I don't know, you can't be a singer now.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I have a fucking shitty voice anyway, so like whatever. You know what I mean?
You can't do that. You know what I mean?
I can't do that.
No, you can't hit high notes, dude.
I mean, did you want to become a singer? Does it matter?
No.
Yeah.
So I really want. So one day I still do to this day want to be like famous, because like who wants to fucking work for a living?
Well, dude, you're well on your way. You're on the Mindless Morning Show.
Agreed. Agreed.
But what's it called? No, yeah, I always thought about myself in being a band, you know, and I thought that would be really cool to do. So,
do you play any instruments? Dude? I mean, I'll play guitar. I'll sing. I'll do shit.
Yeah.
I can play the drums. Okay. I was learning how to play the guitar actually too.
Okay. Shit, man. We'll have a jam session, man. That'd be cool.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Nick's just going to sit there and yell into your asshole as you play.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Just like make my brown eye squint at him or wink at him.
Yeah, there you go.
That's going to be awesome.
You want this chocolate starfish, Nicholas?
Yeah. Yeah, we're grossing people out, but I'll lap it up.
That's okay. This isn't the morning. This is midnight.
Yeah, this is a midnight edition, dude. We can say whatever the fuck we want.
We will gross you out all we want.
Yeah, I'm into poop stuff. All right, I'm done.
There was a question I wanted to ask, though, about the yelling, and I don't remember what, because I just, do you like get breaks in between the days? Because, or at least, how do you, is there like a course that you gradually train your voice? Because, I mean, if you go from like being yelled at constantly and just shutting up to now you got to be on the other side of that spectrum yelling at them every day. Because, I mean, I went to the most I've ever yelled in my life was probably at a Suicide Girls show. It was just sexy, amazing. I was screaming, all for it. So, and dude, the next day, like, it hurt to talk. So did you guys like train or exercise towards that, or just straight into it?
Straight into it.
Fuck,
I mean,
that.
yeah, 2.5 drill instructor school to like really prep for it and scream, and you're screaming every day there. And then after that, you get like a month break in between whenever you graduate drill instructor school to where you pick up your first cycle. And that's about it. Like when you get there, you're expected to work. You're expected to run. You're expected to do pretty much. You're expected to be a drill instructor. So there's no really there's no warm up period. You just jump straight in, and it's a baptism by fire, basically.
Oh shit, man! That sounds like my kind of cup of tea right there.
Yeah. So then you're screaming all day, and then you have to do it tomorrow with a fucked up throat.
Well, now that I think about it, though, when you weren't a drill instructor, as just a member, I don't know, for lack of a better term.
A member of the society.
Yeah, for lack of a better term, I don't know the term.
I mean, normal Marine.
Yeah, were you guys were yelling back? I mean, not at your drill instructors, but you guys had to like yell back to certain chants while marching or anything, right?
So like whenever I was a recruit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we would have to scream all the time too, but like it wasn't as much as a drill instructor.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that would at least help you out a little bit. I mean, I go from like, I don't yell.
Yes, like for us, what's it called? Once you graduate boot camp, like yeah, you're screaming and stuff in boot camp, but once you graduate, you get your little break. You get like 10 days of recruiting assistance I didn't get it for whatever reason. So I went straight from boot camp to my next phase of training, which was MCT. And you pretty much learn how to do like basic infantry shit, like not as in depth, but like just super basic. And then from there, you go to your MOS school. I was a motor T mechanic. So I went to my MOS school. I learned how to be a mechanic for the military, learned how to work on military vehicles. And then from there, I got stationed first duty station, which was in North Carolina. And I was there for about, I want to say like 3.5 years. I was there. And then, yeah, that was pretty much it. I went back to California, to Camp Pendleton. And then I was there up until, I did all my thing. And then I went to San Diego to be a drill instructor. And then I got out of the Marine Corps.
Yeah. Okay.
That's awesome. Well, so you became a mechanic. What was your favorite thing about that, or your favorite equipment to work on?
Honestly, my favorite thing to work on was 7 tons, and 7 tons are like it's like the basic cargo truck. Just because everything is like when you think about a military vehicle, think about a car, but like just increase the size of everything, basically. Mm. And it was pretty easy, man. It was fun. But then, like, once you get good at it, just like with everything, it becomes boring.
Yeah.
And so I was really bored whenever I was out there. So it was a really good change of pace to be able to go shoot like I did in 2015 for like that almost an entire year break I got from doing that. And then I came back and I was just back to it again and then was out. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Like I enjoyed my time working on military vehicles. I learned a lot. I became not really like a shop chief. I was a quality control chief, so I had to make sure like the vehicles that were fixed, they had to pass our inspection. Like we need to see, if the issue that it came in for was fixed, and if there's anything else that was missed that can be fixed, we would do that. Or that was my job, and I would have like little QCs with me too, like 2 other guys, and they would go basically help me out. And then my job was as a QC chief was to make sure once they told me that the vehicle was good, then I would go out there, then look at it. And then I would be like, okay, the vehicle's good. Then I would get my ass on the computer and type up, everything I need to do on our little program that we had. And then I would send it back to the vehicle's owner and be like, hey, your vehicle's ready for pickup. And we'd go park it on our ready for pickup line, and they come over and they pick it up, and then that was it.
Good.
That's really cool. Did you guys have a lot of documentation who did what maintenance, so that like it was somebody's ass that was about to be chewed out if something's wrong?
Yeah.
So whenever I was in, we would have what was called arrows, which were not like a bow and arrow, but it was spelled ERO. Okay. Remember what it stood for, but it was a green copy sheet, right? And it was yours. And so back in the day, like the shop chief or whoever would assign it to you, and then they would give you a copy of that, and that would be your truck. You would put it in your pocket or whatever, or you go find it, look for the serial number of the truck. You go out, walk in the back lot and be like, okay, this is my truck. And then you pull it into the bay, or you work on it outside. And then you do whatever you do to it, and then you bring the arrow back, and you're like, hey, I'm done. And then you'd be like, okay.
So it was more like you were just like a legit mechanic working on that equipment. So that's really cool.
Yeah, that is cool because, I mean, god damn, you learn a shitload. I mean, did you do mechanic stuff when you got out?
Yeah, I actually became a mechanic. I worked at Christian Brothers in South Austin for a little while, for about 6 months.
Nice.
Damn, okay. Nice.
It was pretty much the same thing, Once we went electronic in the military, we got these little laptops, these little we call them tough books, but we would open it up, and then we'd have the same program up that I would use as a QC, but for the shop mechanics, and it would be under their name. Like everything that they would do would be in their name, so we would know it was their work.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Accountability and shit. Yeah, man.
Well, real quick before we go on another break, I just want to ask: were you ever actually deployed?
Yes, I was.
Perfect. We will
we'll
definitely
get
talk
into
about that.
Yeah, let's do that on the next break, gang. So stick around, don't go anywhere, or Zamarippa will hunt you down and kill you with a rifle.
Yes.
So,
Or I will fuck you if you want me to.
okay,
Hey,
yeah.
I mean, you know, there you go, guys. Offers out there now.
Nick is on Nick's list.
He's gonna fill that dent in your head.
I mean, somebody needs to. Goddamn. We'll be right back, guys.
Pretty sure I said you will sound off.
Yes, Chief.
Huh?
Yes, Chief.
Did I say walk back on the tow line? I didn't. Do you know where you're at? Respond! Say something! Yes, Chief. No, Chief. Maybe, Chief. What is it?
Yes, Chief.
Because responding is not an option.
Hey, we are back again. Hope you enjoyed your pretty much non-existent break, because for you guys it was like, what, 5 seconds. So we're back here with Josh Zamarippa, and we were going to talk about his time deployed away from the country of the United States. So, Mr. Josh Zamarippa, how was deployment for you?
It was different.
I bet.
It was hot. I know that, but oddly cold whenever I was first there.
So where were you deployed?
I was in Afghanistan, more specifically Helmand Province, Afghanistan.
I've been there. No, I'm just kidding.
So for how long were you sent there?
So originally, it was for a year long. It was going to be a year-long deployment originally, but
Damn.
they sent us back early. So I was there for 6 months.
And that's because you were crying a lot. You're like, I want to go home. And they're just like, fucking okay.
Send him back now. they're tired of him.
So they asked for like volunteers because I guess they this towards the end. I was like, fuck it, I'll go home. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Like our main job out there was really just to rearm and resupply.
Sure.
Some of the guys that I deployed with did a bunch of security for a colonel that would go out there, which is a high-ranking official. They would be his personal security detail. And me, my job was to be a mechanic, and also if we needed, they would put us on a rotation for convoys, and I would be a gunner. I'd be on the gun, and we'd go on those convoys, or just be an A driver. Be the driver's right-hand man, help with navigation and communications and shit like that.
Freaky.
That's really cool. So you never really saw too much action or anything go on out there? Or?
No, not really. So there was a couple instances that stick out. There was one time where we had to stop because there was this random blue jug that was sitting out in the middle of nowhere, and we're like, oh shit.
Not like that.
Yeah, so we ended up staying there for a little while, and we had to call EOD, which is explosive ordnance disposal. And they never came out to us.
Nice.
So
Of course.
yeah, so we were sitting there for I don't know how long. We left early that morning, and all I know is that it was a 12-hour convoy, which that convoy should have just been like 4 hours.
I would have just gone long distance and shot it by that point.
Who's gonna touch it? Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
Go grab it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it. Like, we didn't do anything too crazy out there.
That's good, honestly. I mean,
yeah, for your sake. I mean,
yeah.
Some people don't make it back to in one piece, and it's not good.
Yeah.
I did do some detainee handling out there for like 2 weeks, which is pretty wild, but cool at the same time.
Detainee handling?
Yeah, so like
you just beating the shit out of people you guys got prisoner and shit, slap them around.
So it was like people that like were persons of interest, or people that were going to get like interrogated or anything like that. We would capture them,
Okay.
or they would get captured, and then they would get us to move them from our, I guess you could call it like a holding cell. There was like 4 or 6 cells that they were in, and we would have to get them from their cells and take them to another base, which is like an hour flight, and then we'd drop them off, and then we'd come back and then do it again.
Oh wow. So as far as the military goes, especially when you're deployed, this is mainly I guess a deploy question. How strict are they in following like the rules? Like obviously you can't leave the base. You can't like. I'm assuming you had to follow a lot of strict ass guidelines.
Yeah, pretty much. Like it was always. So we had local nationals. We call them LNs. We had local nationals work on the base. So obviously, like we would feel some type of way about it because like it was people that they pulled off, not necessarily the street, but people that would come over to work on that base, and we'd be like a little bit like skittish around them, but just never know. And then also you have to watch what you say around them. But I think one of the most important things that we would have to do, or not necessarily that we would have to do, but I would think that a lot of people should do, is just obeying their customs, and their traditions that they have.
Sure.
And a lot of it is like obviously religiously derived.
Oh yeah.
Like stay away from asking them questions about like alcohol and shit like that, because they're Muslim. They don't do that.
Dude, we made some really sick ass bacon in the barracks. Like, like
you would have to stay away from shit like that. Obviously, because I mean, if you do that, like if you rub them, like tensions there were like different. So it's like that one guy that you were possibly cool with is now going to start feeding information to like the Taliban or whoever, because he doesn't like you, or because maybe you were just the last straw in disrespect that he was receiving. He was like, man, these guys aren't fucking here for us. They don't give a shit about us. So a fucking Taliban dude or a whoever, this is what their base looks like. This is where I work. This is where this is, shit like that.
So there's a lot of espionage in between like the people.
I mean, he's saying there can be.
Maybe, yeah.
But that's crazy to think. I mean, honestly, I mean, this may just be that like I'm just completely fucking ignorant to it, but I really didn't expect it to be like such a prominent issue.
So it's not as prominent, but it's just like one of those things that you would rather avoid than get.
Well, you don't want to take the chance, I mean, like the result, like if you take the chance and you're just bullshitting with one of the dudes there, and he's acting like, yeah, I fucking love you, man. You're a cool dude. Like, this is cool. Like, I like you guys being here. But then he fucking goes off and tells some motherfuckers over there all this shit. You don't know.
Yeah,
you don't. So
that's just crazy.
I had one of the coldest nights in my life. One of the coldest nights of my life in Afghanistan. I'll never forget it. And this
temperature-wise?
Yeah, temperature.
Okay.
I was deployed.
Everybody was being such a dick. They were all so cold.
I don't know. I just make sure.
Yeah, so I was deployed in February to August of 2011. I actually had my birthday out there. But
nice.
2011, and I think it was like January, February. I think it was like my first or second convoy. I don't remember what time frame it was, but I remember it was still cold, so probably still early on in the deployment. And it was just freezing cold. And like, during the winter, like in deserts, it gets really fucking cold during the winter, right?
Right.
Yep.
And you fucking tell you, it was so goddamn cold. We were in these tents. They were like Gen Pop tents. So we were in there with like some guys who were there. There was like a transitioning. It was like a rotation transitioning base, or like tent or camp that we were in, basically for the guys who were like there but not staying there, and then they would leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a couple cots and all that shit out there, and it was spray foamed. It was spray foamed for like insulation and shit. But fuck, dude, let me tell you, it was so cold. I didn't get an ounce of sleep that night.
Damn.
Not fucking. It
You
was
guys
so.
don't have like thermometers to know how cold it was?
No. I just remember I was able to see my breath underneath this little fucking thing that I had to keep me warm.
Damn.
Jesus Christ. See, because like the coldest I was ever. Oh, here it goes. I'm about to say it. So I'm a plumber. This is our inside joke, Josh. Every single time we have an interview with somebody, at some point in the show, I tend to bring up the fact that I'm a new construction and remodel plumber. And I was going to say, when I was working up north in Iowa, the coldest day I ever worked outside all day was the high was minus 14. And so you and I might have been in the same conditions. However, I didn't have to sleep in that shit. So you win, brother. That sounds horrible.
So you're a plumber, right? So basically you're saying is you know how to lay pipe.
I can lay pipe, bro. I can lay that shit. You know, they actually make shirts for plumbers that say like license to lay pipe, and I need to get one.
You know what? I want to be a plumber just for that reason, dude.
Fuck yeah, dude. Well, I mean, shit. I don't have an apprentice. Yeah, bro. So now another thing that Josh and I were talking about on a break was when you're deployed, and honestly, not even when you're deployed, just when you're in the military, when and how do you jerk off?
All the time.
Fucking serious?
So check it out.
I thought, because like, all right, so are the TV shows and movies real? Like, you guys just got like these tiny little cots, like, and you're just like wide open, straight up jerking off next to everybody.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Man, that's some manly ass shit.
I
bro.
will say that has to be like the top trainer for like bonification. Like nothing can get you soft anymore. Like you got your whole barracks of men looking at you jerk.
Or you just be like, man, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to jerk off. And then you just like finish, right? But there was that we would do in Afghanistan. It was a race to see who could finish before you passed out from like heat stroke or something. Because you would go into little porta shitters. And you think it's hot outside. It's baking in those motherfuckers.
I know that. Yep.
Yeah.
So you're going in there and you're like, all right, I'm going to fucking do it. And you're like, all right, dude, don't pass out. And so you would try to do it before you would pass out. And you just fucking blow a load in the damn blue water and then come back.
That's awesome. So and you've got no material to help you in this endeavor. And you're drying it, man. That's
how
crazy.
do you go from like limp noodle in the middle of a desert in a baking fucking porta potty to like raging boner and finishing like in blue water that probably smells like shit?
So you're not even allowed. You're not allowed to have sex when you're over there at all.
Oh, of course.
Like you can get for it. Yeah, it's wild. But guess
Really?
what? People still fucking do it. Yo, boy, I had to do it.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
Do it for-
What was his name?
His name was Chad.
Chad. That's a good name. He sounds like a stand-up guy.
Her name was actually Sierra. So high probability she's not gonna run into the show. But if she does,
will.
all right. So she was. This is gonna sound really fucked up, but she was ugly. All right, like ugly. But it was one of those girls where she had a banging body, dude. Let me tell you.
So
like,
it was what they call a butterface. Her body was great, but her face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Butt face, right? But man, it was pretty great. I don't even know if it was because it was in Afghanistan and I hadn't done it for a while, or but the fact that it was so good, but it was pretty awesome. And no shit, like, you know how you were talking about, like, so you would be laying down jerking off and your roommate's like right there. Like, yeah, it was like that. My roommate that I had, because we had like these little cots, they were like little jail cells. But my roommate would bring this girl in that he would bang out, and I would pretend to be asleep, and they would be banging like less than 5 feet away from me, and he did the same for me.
Oh shit!
It's awesome,
Oh, so
man.
wait, you're not like yanking it off to the moans? Because I mean, that's better than like fucking banging it out in a fucking like baking porta potty. I mean, I'd much rather listen to moans at least at that point.
Gotta take what you can get, or you can recycle the noise for your dry spank sessions, bro.
There you go,
Yes,
man.
man,
I mean,
that's awesome.
wow. So like, I don't know. So much of this is just like absolutely mind-boggling to think of. Like, what do you guys do with your jizz, man? Where do you put it? Fucking in your boots or something?
What do you mean?
Well, what do you guys? Where do you? You're in cots. Like, where do you guys put it?
Oh, water bottles or fucking empty ass sock that you don't want. Like, I don't fucking know, man. Baby wipes, get creative, man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. All right.
Under
Like
the cot.
So do you guys like ever like eventually help each other out, or like maybe do a Dutch rudder where like everyone's just kind of helping you grab each other's arms, help each other out?
I don't think that there was that level of bonding going on, but that's in what you're saying. I like it.
I'll tell you what, man, if somebody can have a Dutch rudder with me, I would trust that motherfucker with my life. If you can't have a Dutch rudder with me, I can't trust you with my life, because all you're doing is grabbing my arm while I just like hold my cock. That's cool. So like, if you can't do that, you ain't taking a bullet for me, man. I'm sorry, I ain't taking a bullet for you.
Don't talk or look at me in the eye. Just grab my arm.
Yeah, no,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just
Bro,
like a formal handshake.
Yeah, like, bro, I just need you to grab my arm. Like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll do you next.
Yeah, like,
Well,
bro,
no, it's at the
man.
same time.
you just be like, bro, don't freak out.
Oh, at the same time.
Yeah, you're holding it with your non-dominant hand. He's holding it with his non-dominant hand. And with your dominant hand, you're grabbing each other's non-dominant hands and helping each other out. That's the Dutch rudder.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I feel like that. I mean, I'm sure it's probably happening right now somewhere overseas.
I really hope it is.
Listen, I'm not
too.
one anybody, but I mean, hey, more power to you.
Hey, dude, if
Right?
like, I don't know, you just got done talking about like the espionage and stuff like that. If you wouldn't worry about espionage or something, like somebody like, yeah, like if, no, I mean, me and him, like we Dutch ruddered last week. We're solid.
Yeah.
We're like this.
No, and so I will say that. So I did bring a laptop whenever I was out there, but what's it called? There had this fucking terabyte tower that would circulate full of porn. You
Nice.
go over there, download all the porn or movies that you wanted to download, like movies that you haven't seen or you wanted to see or you've seen or you want to see again. You download them to your computer off the terabyte, and then you go bring the terabyte back.
Wait, so okay, hold on. When you say like there's like a terabyte tower, anyone in the barracks can like just go to this tower, plug in, download what they want, walk away?
It was somebody's personal terabyte that they had
Oh, okay.
loaded up before they came over to Afghanistan. And what's it called? He would let us have it for however long we needed it to plug it into our computers, download what we wanted, and then bring it back to him. He would give it out.
I thought you were talking about some government issued porn. I was about to say, wow, that is that is awesome.
Our country loves us.
Yeah.
Straight up. They really truly love us.
I mean, what would that be like? Come here, Hillary.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Government issue porn.
Definitely not Hillary, bro. Like what?
Oh shit.
Oh man, I love that shit. That's awesome. We are getting close to our ending of the show here, guys. But we are certainly gonna have Josh back on for sure because there's a lot of shit that we can. I mean,
Yeah, don't worry. I won't go
show.
anywhere. I'm still gonna be the co-host of this show. Don't worry. Oh, you meant the guest.
Yeah. I meant the guest. Yeah.
Right.
You're not. Yeah, no one's getting in trouble or fired. But yeah, it was a blast, man. Josh, I hope you had fun hanging out with us and doing the show, man.
Yeah, I'm way more than willing to come back and be another guest on your guys' show. Like, I love it. It was fun. It was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. You know what I mean? Because about my military.
So now I gotta ask.
I thought this was gonna suck.
No, I gotta ask. I gotta ask. What were you expecting before?
So I was expecting because, like, okay, so on the outside, you get questions asked about your service a lot, and then so it becomes boring. You're just like, man, fuck.
Yeah.
But this was really fun. Like, I enjoyed it. I was having really good time. The girl I'm seeing right now, I was talking to her about it. I was like, yeah, I'm having a really good time. Like, I haven't talked to this guy in fucking years, and he's been wanting me to come on the show for the longest time. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. And she was just really happy that I was able to get on here and, do something. So it was great.
Hell yeah,
shit, man. Yeah, man.
Dude, we're happy to have you. Like, it's an honor, and I mean, thank you for your service. I know maybe you don't like talking about it, but I mean, we'll talk about the nice nitty gritty fun stuff about it,
dude. Right? Yeah. I mean, I and that's one thing too. Like, when we bring people on to interview that specialize in something, that's awesome, and we delve into that. But we also fuck around and just get into whatever, man. Like.
Honestly, though, I think we did America a really huge service because any kid now looking to join the Marines now knows what the jerk-off situation is.
Yeah. No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
And if you got a Dutch rudder partner, that's your partner to save your life.
Exactly. Well, and it's funny because I'll bring it back into what I was just saying. Like, we're not like I don't know what traditional is in the podcasting world. I really don't.
No.
But that's not us, and we're not like serious by any means. Like, we had a psychic medium on the show a few weeks ago, and we ended up talking about midget porn.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, dude. If you haven't watched our show, I'm only a little touched, but it's okay. I understand. Life's busy as fuck, and we have long ass episodes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I mean, sitting here recording them is so much easier to do because it's so much fun. Like, I wouldn't sit here and listen to our own episodes. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, yeah. That's just because you're always busy as shit working on the episodes.
Well, that and I've already heard it. It was my discussion. Like, I don't need to.
Yeah, no, I know. But we have to admit one thing, though, that whenever you are editing these, while you listen to them and play them back, you're smiling and laughing still. I get it. I get it.
I have messaged you at a time or two, like, yo, this episode's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
And I already know, dude, this one is really funny.
Yeah, I'm 100% down to come back and talk about whatever. What's it called? It's as we go on and we start talking about things that I've done or things that I've seen or whatever, it's like the memories come back and then we just have like a really good time. We start bullshitting and start talking about a bunch of stuff. Midget porn, whenever it comes to fucking being in the military, is definitely not off the subject or too far off. Actually, it's probably in its niche whenever it comes to the military, because the military, think about the most decrepit hive of wretched, disgusting, pent up, still leftover teenage angst and daddy issues, all just in this cesspool, and people are fucking each other and it becomes more drama of military, and it's great. there's like a bunch of shit that I can go on and on about. Like it's amazing.
Hell yeah.
Oh my. I mean, you just made me so much more excited.
Yeah. Okay. So then this is what we're gonna have to do. Zamarippa, you're gonna have homework now. Like, we're gonna send you a link that we can all three see, and just jot shit down as it comes to you. That way you can remember everything, and we can have another episode that's just as badass as this one, and we can fucking, you can be a guest that comes on every so often, and we can just talk about whatever we want. I mean, literally anything that's of interest, period. Gaming, movies, fuck it. We're there. We talk about it. We have our own style of bullshit, and we just run with it. And, it's funny. So people check it out. So, yeah. All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap it up now, and it was awesome.
Real quick, is there any social links or anything that you're a part of, any projects that you do that you want us to share?
Unfortunately not. I just encourage everybody that's in the Austin area, if you get out there and just go ahead and support like a lot of there's a lot of unknown links about COVID assistance that a lot of people don't know. Also, if there's any veterans in the Austin area, there's a lot of veterans benefits that don't come from the VA that will help you out, like for assistance with housing, or if you need a lawyer or whatever. That stuff that's not covered, I would recommend just checking out and going and what's happening in your local programs, because in today's political climate, all you hear is about blue and red or left and right. You don't really hear about what's happening for the little guy. And that's what I encourage a lot of people that's what a lot of people should do, is what's happening in your community, and just get more involved in your community. And I don't know, donate. I regularly donate, like a lot of my, I have three kids. So their old clothes or old toys, I regularly give them to Goodwill, because I could go to somebody who needs them.
I agree. And so what we can do, what we typically do is we can find out what these links are, Josh. Whatever these links might be to the websites of these different organizations, send them to co-host Josh, and we can put them in descriptions of all of these of this show. And then people that are watching that are in this area and whatnot can donate, can check it out, and help themselves if need be. So
absolutely.
Fuck yeah, man. That's what it's all about. Trying to just get through the fucking day, one day at a time, man. So awesome. Well, Josh, co-host, thank you for reminding to do that, because we typically do that at the end of the show, is like let people talk about, basically bring up things that are interesting that needs to be said that we just blew over because we're mindless idiots. So that being said,
there's something important at the end, you got.
I know, man. I know. I love it. But yeah, we're gonna take off, and you have a great rest of your nights. Sleep well, sweet dreams, and we will see you guys on the next
Christmas.
one.
I mean, I seen the tree earlier, so I mean we.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
And thanks again for your service. Thank you again for being on our show. We are absolutely honored to have you, and dude, we definitely look forward to more.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me. You said thank you for, your service, but, without the support of people like you, it feels good. It gives us more of a reason, you know what I mean? So I'm never going to be out there, and no other veteran is going to be out there looking for those compliments. So that means a lot. So thank you.
Right
Awesome,
on, man. I appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. And I love you guys so much.
Oh, geez. You haven't cried in like 3 or 4 episodes. What happened?
2 episodes, bro.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. All right, guys. Have a good night. I'll catch you all later.
Bye.
All right, man. Bye.
See ya.
Are you eyeballing me with those baby blues?
Sir, no, sir!
Are you in love with me, Swafford?
Sir, no, sir!
Oh, you don't think I look good in my uniform, Swafford?
Sir, the drill instructor looks fabulous in his uniform, sir!
Oh, so you're gay then, and you love me, huh?
Sir, I'm not gay, sir!
Do you have a girlfriend, Swafford?
Sir, yes, sir!
Yes again, motherfucker. Jody's banging her right now. Get on your face and give me 25 for every time she gets fucked this month.